to my living room. Today we're going to talk about our Foresight GC Quad launch monitor. For those of you that don't know or haven't had a chance to experience, the club does have an incredible tool to help us with club fitting and putting applications. So most people use this with their driver and their fittings. They want to get their launch, their spin, decide which driver and shaft is the best selection for them, which is fantastic. But another incredible feature on the GC Quad is a putting application. So when you think about putting, we want to get the ball rolling end over end for a true roll as soon as possible. So if you think about a big built boulder, if we wanted to move a big boulder, you wouldn't get behind it and just try to push it, right? You would get your hands kind of a little bit above the equator and try to get it rolling to move. So some of the things that the GC Quad will help us see is to look at the type of numbers, because I know the best putters in the world will hit it slightly above the equator. They'll hit it with very minimal loft, and they'll hit it at an upward strike. So those are some of the things that we're going to look at today to help you be a better putter. So to show you some of the tools before we get into the data, this is the actual launch monitor, and as you're out on the driving range and using it, you can see numbers here of the data that it gives you. But we can also throw all that data onto an iPad where we can look at it more specifically and compare it from one shot to another. Here we're going to highlight just some of the data that the GC Quad provides us in the putting application. In this example, I hit 3 putts distinctly very different on purpose, so you can see how the numbers change. In the highlighted column, this was my normal putt, and the data that I want to point out on this screen is the launch spin, where it has an F by my 185. This is very important because it relates back to the boulder example we gave in the beginning of the video of how important it is to get the ball moving in a forward rotation immediately. You can see my second and third strokes have B, which is definitely not something we want to see. So to create that backward spin in the second example, I took the shaft of the putter and I leaned it backwards excessively, and I struck the ball in a very out-to-end fashion with an open face. In the last example, I took the shaft of the putter and I leaned it excessively forward to create high levels of negative loft and a downward impact. And so you can see also how that changed the time it took to get the ball rolling. In my putt, it only took 11 inches for that ball to get rolling. In the example where I leaned that shaft back and put excessive amounts of loft on the ball, it was so far off the camera, couldn't even measure it. And then the downward angle of attack putt, it took a 1 foot and 5 inches to get the ball rolling. So this was ball data. If I move to club data, a number I like to look at is my club efficiency. Club efficiency is strictly ball speed divided by your club head speed. When you're talking about full swing shots in your driver, sometimes it's referred to as the smash factor, which 1.5 is awesome for your driver and perfect. And putting 1.4 is terrific because you're not really compressing the ball. It's more of a strike. So you can see the difference in the loft as well. I actually struck my ball with a little bit of shaft lean at 1.5 minus degrees of loft on the putter face. And then the example where that shaft was way backwards, you could see I put 15 degrees of loft, and where the shaft was excessively forward, it went 13. So the other screen that's fun to look at, if I go back to my putt, you can actually go to a face to target screen. So you can see here, even though I struck that putt with negative loft, I actually hit up on the ball 1 degree. And you can see my path was into out. I think an in to out path is fine. Mine gets excessive sometimes, but an in to out path allows you to hit more up on the ball and get that ball striking on the part of the putter face that you want, where when you come out to in, it's very hard to do that, and it's very hard to hit up on the ball when you're swinging out to in. So if I come back to my example where the shaft was way backwards, you can see it was backwards, creating 15 degrees of loft, but even though at a loft, I still hit down on the putt, and I was coming very out to in with an open face, which is not going to give me very good speed control at all in my putt. And in the last example, you can see I had that shaft excessively forward, created a severe down angle of attack, and it almost didn't even register where I hit that ball in the face. And again, when you have a lot of shaft lean, in this also, in that much down, it's hard to hit up on the ball when you have that much shaft lean. So thank you for watching the video. Stay well, stay healthy. We miss everybody terribly. Can't wait to get you on the putting green, to get you out with that GC Quad and make everybody better putters.